Hey, Trixie Summers. I haven't done a video in a while, but I just felt the need to share a little bit about my spiritual journey. It's a long story, but I'm just going to share just a few minutes about it. It's been quite the path I've been walking on. Especially the past 2.5 years, when I started to heal my childhood traumas, when I started to look at myself and my roles in the end of relationships, where I lost weight, work out, 5 days a week now, and the transformation that I've gone through the past 2.5 years. Of just, my thoughts, no longer beating myself up over things, no longer living in anxiety, no longer living in depression, no longer living in a stressful life. I do have all of those from time to time, but gosh, the amount of time that I spend there is it's maybe like hours instead of days or weeks. And part of that has also been on a spiritual journey, on a spiritual path, to get to where I am today. And I'll just kind of start from my most recent thoughts, which has been actually from last night. See if I can do this without crying. So last night I heard a song in the background of a movie, Take a Load Off Fanny. And so I looked it up on my music, and I listened to it on repeat. And it just kind of summed up this past year for me, and what it's come to. And the chorus is, take a load off Fanny, take a load for free, take a load off Fanny, and put the load right on me. And when I'm listening to it, I'm crying, because it's like I know there's a God. There's not a doubt in my mind that there's a God. But when I was listening to it, I was just like, okay, Jesus, here you go. Here's my burdens. I give it to you because I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I can't do this life on my own anymore. I'm so tired. So here you go, Jesus. And I listened to that song on repeat for probably 30 minutes. And I'm just crying, and I am just filled with gratitude. And that's what this is too. It's just gratitude that that I can go to Jesus, that I can place my burdens and my worries onto Him. And this has been a long time coming. It's not like that. Last night was my come to Jesus meeting. I've been flowing towards this for a year now, or longer, all my life, really. And I guess back in June, I had this, I guess I'd call it my come to Jesus meeting, where, I don't know, it was one particular morning, and I was going to bed because, I do night shift taking care of my grandpa, so it was probably 9:30 when I got to bed to go to sleep, and I was just extra tired, and I don't know really where my thoughts were, but they came around to Jesus, and, I just heard Jesus say, basically, I got you, girl. I don't know why he was talking like that and gangster, but that was his words. He's like, I got you, girl. I got your back. But You're home, baby girl. You can rest now. And so that's what I've been feeling. But then there's just so much that I wrestled with too, even though, you know, Jesus was in my awareness and Jesus had spoken to me. But there's just so much, like with the Bible and organized religion and me being in the New Age and the metaphysical and doing Reiki and chakra balancing and an energy healer and going down that path, which is all part of, you know, that helped me. All of that helped me, you know, heal from my childhood traumas, like I said, and, you know, help me get my mind right to get me out. But then I knew that there's more. There's more, and I've always been searching. I've always been seeking my whole entire life for something. I mean, when I was a kid, you know, I would go to church every once in a while, and Jesus would, or I would hear, you know, the church people say, "Do you have Jesus in your heart?" And so I thought Jesus was this little teeny tiny man that lived in my heart. And he was a living, breathing being, just a tiny man in my heart. And he had this little teeny tiny hammer, and he was just beating my heart. That's how I saw Jesus. That he was just, you know, beating that hammer, just hammering that hammer, keeping me alive. And so I was, even as a kid, even after that, I was about 12 or 13, I got baptized. And then I did like a correspondence Bible course. At the end of it, I got a Bible. So I've always have known that there's God, that there's Jesus. And then in my mid-20s, I wanted to be a minister. So I actually started college so I could get a bachelor's degree, because I had a bachelor's degree to go to seminary in the Episcopal Church and become an Episcopal minister. But life happened, so that didn't happen. So in my 30s and 40s, there was nothing. There was like no spiritual, nothing in my 30s or 40s. And then, you know, I got my 50s, and then I started this journey that I'm on now for the past 2.5 years that led me to where I'm at right now. And man, I've studied it all the past 2.5 years. And I have taken care of my grandpa, and it's been, oh gosh, it's been a lot the past 2.5 years. And I am so very grateful that I had money saved up and that I could just take off for 2.5 years and just totally work on myself. And but now, gosh, what have I, there's just so much that I've done. Like I said, all this energy work, all of this healing, all of this, you know, searching and seeking and asking and dismantling what organized religion is, what God is, just taking all of my spiritual beliefs and just breaking it down, and healing from broken relationships, healing just all of it, just all of it. And soon I'll have to do a video on the downside of all of this. The downside of toxic positivity, the downside of having your frequencies, trying to have your frequencies high and manifest and keep everything high so everything will come to you. The law of attraction. I mean, I've done it all. I've done, you know, Joe Dispenza. You know, I've listened to it all the past 2.5 years, and it has shaped the way where I am right now, and it has led me to Jesus. Because I feel very, very secure in that, but at the same time, like I said, there's a dark side to it as well, and I will get into that another time, because that's important to talk about too, because it did affect, you know, I did get into some sort of weird, I wouldn't even say depression. I don't even know what it is. I don't know what it was. There was just a lot of darkness that had come up, to where that I was like, and a lot of it has to do with my grandpa. You know, he's 98 years old, and then just, just being on night duty. He's sleeping good. You don't know if he's alive. So I've been living with a lot of that. A lot of, you know, is he still breathing? I've lived with a lot of. I even wanted to become a death doula. Trying to usher people to the other side. I've studied shamanism. I even booked a trip to Peru. I've got my plane tickets. I'm all scheduled to go in March. And I will probably not go to that because my thinking is different now. But a couple of months ago, a friend of mine, she invited me to this online Bible study group, I guess is what it was, because she had been in the New Age, and she had she came back to Jesus. And so I had reached out to her after I had my come to Jesus meeting, and then a couple of months later, she's like, hey, I'm part of this group, this Bible group. Why don't you join it? And I'm like, okay, great. Yeah. Cause I'm still searching. I'm still, trying to get close to Jesus. I'm still trying to figure all of this out. So I joined this online Bible group, study group, and it had pastor and, the members, and it really, I don't know, there were some things that triggered me. There was a lot of things that triggered me. I was having more questions than answers. Felt like I was drifting further and further away, but at the same time getting closer and closer, if that makes any sense at all. But it did lead to some dark thoughts. It did, being in this study group with the triggers, and still everything that I'm listening to about manifesting and surrendering and letting go and trusting and just all of it. And it was just like, I just had to stop. My brain was on overload, and I just couldn't anymore. I couldn't do, and this has just been within the past couple of weeks that all of this has come about. And I was just so tired. I was just, what had happened was, of course, this past year, I've been single. I think I've gone out on 4 dates. If you could call them dates. I mean, they're just basically meet and greet, but nobody that I wanted to get to know or go on a second date with. But at the same time, I'm on Facebook dating app, and I'm learning to talk to men and figuring out what I want, what I don't want. And there came this one I was having this one conversation with this one man, never met him, hadn't spoken to him just on the app. And I don't know, I went down some sort of rabbit hole with this man. And I was reading back to my friend what I'd written, and she was like, oh my gosh. She's like, why did you say that on the first, you don't even know this man. You just been talking to him. You had 2 sentences with him. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that was a little bit too deep for and he ended up deleting me, which was kind of funny. But anyways, okay, so yeah, let's just back off. So, so after that, I have taken a break from social media. I haven't logged into Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, anything. I have to give my brain a break from everything. But in doing so, I even got out of that Bible study group, because I just had to. My brain has to rest, and that's where I'm at right now, and I'm resting, and that's why that song hit me so hard last night. It's just, picture your load right on me, and put your burdens onto Jesus, and that just gave me like this overwhelming peace, I was beyond peace, just bliss. That it's like, okay, here you go. I'm walking with you. But one thing that I learned by being in this Bible study group is that, I have trust issues, which I didn't realize that I had. So, I'm having to trust Jesus. I'm having to trust myself. And that's, what, this next leg of my journey is about trusting in Jesus and to rest and to trust that wherever my life is going, it's going to be okay. Because I'm looking at having to go back to, the 8-to-5 world. I don't want to do that. So I've just been taxing my brain trying to figure out. And I don't think it's my business anymore. It's not my, it's something. There's something. I'm not quite sure. I've been revisiting being a minister again. I did actually, back in November, I got my online ordination. So I am, a minister now. I'm Minister Trixie. So there you go. I did that. I can marry people. So so hit me up if you're going to get married. I can marry you because I am a credentialed minister through the Universal Life Church of the Internet. So I am, it is official, and we pay $45, but I am an ordained minister. But, so I've really been, trying to think of some kind of ministry that I can do, what I'm being led at. So I know, so the trust is there. The trust is, with Jesus that will lead me in the right direction, the right path. But in the meantime, I'm just looking for the nudges, looking for the signs, walking, I'm out here with Jesus right now. And again, I don't know where this is going to lead me. I don't, but this has felt the most right for me over the past 2.5 years of everything that I've done. And I actually wrote a list, and my list is like this long of everything that I've done and studied the past 2.5 years. But again, right now, I need to rest. I need to rest in Jesus. I need to trust and to follow his lead. And quit doing this by myself. Quit. Because everybody needs help. Even if you don't have a partner, you always have one in Jesus. And that brings me a lot of comfort. So, I guess I will. And again, these are happy tears. I'm not sad. I'm very, very grateful. I'm so very grateful. And I can say that I have peace. And I think it's just overwhelming gratitude that I have, because I can't just say, here's my bag of stuff. Here you go. Here you go. And that feels so light and so freeing. And so peaceful to do that. And just be with God, be with Jesus. Let the Holy Spirit come into your life. All right, I'm going to sit here for another minute
And then I'm going to go do some more exploring, do some more walking. All right. Have a peaceful day. Bye.